Hello, welcome back. Today, our quote of the day is I find that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. Thomas Jefferson. Today's objective is I can solve a system of equations algebraically using elimination. Before we get started on today's video lesson, go ahead and click on Joey over here and tell him how you're doing today. So we're going to talk about elimination. We talked about substitution in the last lesson. The first thing that I want you to see here is these first four problems up top. It says, fill in the box to make the equation true. So for number one, negative 18 plus 18, if I use my calculator, I would get 0. What happens if I have negative 5x? What could I add to that to equal 0? Notice how negative 18 and 18 are opposites. So 5x and negative 5x are opposites. And that's what gives me that 0 as an answer. Same with number 3. If I need to add something to 14 to get 0, I would add a negative 14. And then lastly over here, 2x plus 9y, or 2x minus 9y, I'm going to subtract 2x and add 9y to get 0. Now, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about it because there's another way to solve a system of equations, and it's called elimination. And our goal for solving using elimination is to eliminate one of the variables to solve for the other. So we're going to need opposites in order to eliminate them. So first step of any equation, we're going to first choose to eliminate either x or y. Now, it doesn't matter which one you choose. It depends on your question. In this case, I think I'm going to eliminate my y's. So I'm just going to circle y for myself. Now I'm going to multiply either one or both of those equations. So looking at my second equation, I'm going to decide so I decided to eliminate y because if I multiply my bottom equation by negative 2, then my y value would be negative 6, and that would make my y's opposites. So now I'm going to rewrite the first equation just as I see it. And I'm going to rewrite the second equation, but I'm going to multiply everything by negative 2. So negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. Negative 2 times 3y is negative 6y equals, and then negative 2 times negative 5 is a positive 10. So I just finished step 2. Now I'm going to add to eliminate my chosen variable. So looking down here, these two are going to cancel each other out. Plus 6 minus 6 gives you back at 0. Now we're going to add the rest. 5x minus 4x is 1x. And then negative 8 plus 10 is positive 2, but it's equals 2, not plus. Equals a positive 2. So I've just added to eliminate my variable. Now it says to solve the equation. Well, in this case, my equation's already solved, right? X equals 2. So it's solved. Now I need to substitute the value into one of the equations and solve for the other variable. So I'm going to pick my second equation because it looks easier to me. 2x plus 3y equals negative 5. And I'm going to take this value for x and substitute it in. 2 times 2 plus 3y equals negative 5. 4 plus 3y is equal to negative 5. Subtract 4 on both sides to balance my equation. I get 3y is equal to -9. To solve for y, I need to divide both sides by 3, and y is equal to -3. Now, just like before, because I am solving a system, I'm going to state my solution. Solution is my x followed by my y. So in this case, my x is 2 and my y is -3. And step 7 is always to check. Now again, you can check this graphically, and you can actually use Desmos to check it graphically. But checking it is always a good part of our procedure. But we're going to move on to the next example here. Looking at this, we're going to choose to eliminate x or y. So looking at your coefficients, you're going to decide whether you would like to eliminate your x's or your y's. I think that if I look at my x's, I know that I can make both of those equations have a 10 in front. If I multiply the first equation by 5, I would get 10x. And if I multiply the second equation by 2, I would get -10x. So now I'm going to multiply through. 5 times 2 is 10x minus 5 times -4x is 20y equals 5 times 18, 90. Now I'm going to do the second equation. 2 times -5 is -10x. 2 times -6y is -12y is equal to 2 times 3, 6. I have just eliminated my x's this time, and I've multiplied both equations in this case. Now I'm going to add to eliminate my chosen variable. So those x's go away because I get 0 x's. My y's, I get -32y is equal to 96. Now I'm going to solve. So to solve, I'm going to divide by the coefficient for y, and I get y is equal to -3. My next step, just like before, I'm going to take an equation, whichever one I want. I'm going to use the first one this time. And I'm going to substitute my y value into the equation. 2x minus 4 times y equals 18. 2x plus 12 is equal to 18 if I subtract 12 from both sides. 2x is equal to 6, which means that x is equal to 3. Now I need to state my solution. My solution is the point 3, -3, because it's always your x and then your y coordinate. And then I will check this one with you. To check, I'm going to rewrite both equations. 2x minus 4y equals 18. And then my second equation, well, let me do that one first. 2 times 3 minus 4 times -3 is equal to 18. 2 times 3 is 6. -4, -3 is 12. 18 is equal to 18. That's true. Now I'm going to check in the other equation. I'm going to write it right next to it a little bit in the space over here. 5x minus 6y is equal to 3. So I'm going to substitute in -5 times my x value minus 6 times my y value equals 3. -15 plus 18 is equal to 3, which is true.